Well, holy smokers, folks, this ain't no dang jokers. Yes, this is one of those videos, okay? One of those rare videos I ever create that I'm like, okay, this video is gonna be a popular one. This is not just an everyday video, okay? We're talking about my top 3 penny stocks for 2022 and beyond.
Welcome back, everyone, to the Audacious Money Witch channel, where we talk about investing and trading and a lot of fun things. How bad is Jeremy's small cap stock picks? Planet 13 stock was scammed out of $21 million by AlCaptin. Jeremy really does have the worst luck with small cap stocks. Where do I even begin? Let's start with the chef. Jeremy lost $1 million on this tattooed chef stock.
You know, and backing in a huge way and like staking my personal brand behind this stock.
A plant-based food company that, according to Jeremy, has a better innovation story than Beyond Meat. Well, today, Beyond Meat is still kicking. TTCF is no more.
I'm down over $1 million in the chef. Over $1 million if you add up all my different accounts.
He lost $250,000 on Voyager Digital, a crypto broker stock that broke Jeremy's heart.
It's kind of appropriate. It's raining here in Vegas. It's stormy. And as you're seeing there, you know, basically lost everything in the stock.
Not to mention, Smile Direct Club went bankrupt.
I bought $8,800 after hours. This one was at $4 even. Then I went ahead and bought more shares because I thought about it and I was like, I think I'm going to buy some more. So I bought 5,000 more shares at $4.04. Nonetheless, this one has been devastated. It has not been a Smile Direct Club's year. It will be in the future here, okay?
Don't forget his GoPro, and now his $1 FUBU stock is stepped on by Disney. And finally, his Planet 13 stock was just scammed out of $21.5 million by AlCaptin advisors. Can you believe that? The stock crashed 20% on that day. This explains why they had to issue more shares to dilute shareholders to keep them afloat, and why the Planet stock is now under 50 cents. Look at my True Leaf stock, still up 90% year to date. Jeremy's Planet 13 stock down 23% year to date.
Today, they decide they're going to dilute the shareholder base in a massive way. Just completely dilute us to the ground. I don't know if it was a 10-15% dilution. The number was huge. It was ridiculous. To raise $30 million. You don't raise money when your stock is down and out. Very good food company stock is down 60, 70, I don't know, probably 80%.
You can't make this stuff up. Jeremy really has the worst small cap stock picks.
These ones will absolutely decimate the VT.
The only winner is Honest, but he completely sold that one off in his public account in 2023. In this video, I will explain whether Planet 13 stock at today's price on the stock chart with technical analysis to answer the question. Is Planet 13 worth the risk and headache to go through another lawsuit to get their cash back? If you only want to speculate on DEA potentially rescheduling cannabis at this point.
I'm also looking for companies. The fourth pillar here is companies that are in a pretty good capital position, meaning they got plenty of cash. I think this stock has ridiculous upside over the coming years, and it's actually a much safer investment, I think. Safer investment than 99.9% of penny stocks out there. The company was founded in 2015. 1-year price target I have for the Planet is $5.50. 5-year price target I have for the Planet is $30 a share, which would be a 10x.
The company now has presence in 4 total states, with 8 stores almost operational as of February in over 5 production and cultivation facilities. And their brand name products are sold wholesale to over hundreds locations around the US. Planet 13 builds these superstores, which range roughly from 40,000 to 60,000 square feet. Orange County being the biggest so far at just over 55,000 square feet. And these buildings are massive. And upon entering one of these stores, you are greatly greeted by, as they call them, bud tenders. And inside each superstore are quality restaurants, lounges, and immersive museums. The experience is quite incredible. Their goal and model to scale these superstores is to open a superstore in any city that can support a major professional sports franchise. And the issue with this concept, though, is that it hinders them with the legislation and regulatory hurdles state by state and federally. Planet also has these dispensaries, or as they call them, neighborhood stores. These have the same experience as your superstores, but just on a much smaller scale. These range around 4,000 square feet, and their goal is to have more of these neighborhood stores than superstores because they believe it will generate a higher percentage of sales for their in-house brands. Oh, that's great, eh, Ted? It's going to generate more sales for them? Oh, yeah, he says. What do you think about it, Ted? Oh, yeah, he's rocking over here. Planet 13 is currently still led by both of its co-founders, Robert and Larry. They still actually have a large stake in the business too, and their entire goal with this brand is to not only change the stigma attached to cannabis, but aim for that experience you get at their retail level, along with its amenities in high-quality cannabis-based products. Planet wants to be, as some like to say, I've heard it a bunch of times, as the Starbucks of cannabis. The Starbucks of cannabis? What do you think about that, Ted? Oh my goodness, right? It's going to be amazing if it's like Starbucks, right? Oh yeah. You like the coffee there? Oh yeah. Ted, you shouldn't drink coffee though. You're too small for that. From this unfortunate announcement, it really changes the bull thesis for this company, since they are now in a difficult liquidity situation. From the entire management team and board, surprisingly, there have been no direct buys ever, but both co-founders have been exercising their options, not selling them after they vest, and they now hold significant stakes in the company. Oh, that's great, eh, Ted? They're holding stakes in the company? Oh, you like to eat steak, Ted? Oh, yeah, he likes to eat steak. It's not that kind of steak. It's holding stakes in the company, Ted. But he likes the steak that you barbecue. Both Larry and Bob have 17% stakes, but owning a large part of the company, skin in the game, does not mean it's safe for us to invest. I mean, just look at Tattoo Chef TTCF stock. Sam Galletti, the co-founder, owns 43% of the total share outstanding. It means nothing. He takes 4 salaries from Tattoo Chef and use it as a piggy bank until the cash drained completely, and then he steps down and retires. Recently, management team members and board members sold significantly near all-time lows. My thought to this is, why would you be selling and having the most selling transactions in the history of the company and not buying at the lows? Yeah, Ted agrees you need to buy low and sell high. I find this quite odd, especially when it aligns within the timeline of AlCaptin Scandal. If you truly believe in the company's future, I mean, this presents a great opportunity to buy and not sell. Unless you think they are hopeless to win the lawsuit and get their money back. Companies use certain financial institutions to hold their company's cash. Kind of like why we bank with certain financial institutions for our personal cash management, but applied here commercially. Since cannabis isn't federally legal and Safe Banking Act has not yet passed, there are very select few of firms that are allowed to work with companies like Planet. So at the time, AlCaptin was one of those select firms that was gaining traction, landing some big cannabis clients and management decided to choose AlCaptin Advisors for cash management services. Unfortunately, fraud eventually entered the picture. This led to Planet losing $21.5 million of cash. As of right now, the company has recovered $3.4 million with $2 million in progress, so in total $5.4 million they're going to get back. But the other $16 million is essentially gone. Now, in order for Planet to recover the remaining amount, they have had to sue Casa Verde, who also an investor and did business with AlCaptin. They were scammed essentially like Planet 13. Apparently, Casa Verde received a judgment of $35 million in part of a separate ongoing dispute, which eventually exposed AlCaptin as a fraud. Planet 13, they desperately believe that the $16 million of that $35 million is theirs, which has led them to suing Casa Verde in hopes to recover their remaining cash, which is $16 million, because they're getting $5.4 million back. And we will show the impact of this in the financial statements. It puts Planet 13 in financial distress. So let's talk about how this all started. Casa Verde, it's an investment firm co-founded by Snoop Dogg, initially engaged in a partnership with AlCaptin Advisors by investing in the firm and utilizing its financial advisory services. Unfortunately, this relationship took a turn when Casa Verde and AlCaptin entered into an agreement where AlCaptin was going to repurchase shares worth $35 million from Casa Verde. When AlCaptin lied and didn't do that, and they failed to meet this financial obligation, which led to Casa Verde suing them for breach of contract and secured a $35.7 million default judgment against AlCaptin. This initiated a series of events that would affect all AlCaptin's clients, including Planet 13, obviously. So once fraud was admitted by the co-founder of AlCaptin Advisors, it opened the eyes of many of their clients, obviously, and in this case, the one we care about is Planet 13. The issue here is AlCaptin didn't have any cash. It was handled fraudulently, and what was left from their scheme was won over to Casa Verde, with the exception of the $5.4 million judgment Planet was able to get from them, but the other $16 million is technically gone right now. So this has led Planet 13 to a desperate attempt to recover $16 million of funds by suing both AlCaptin and Casa Verde in another lawsuit. Planet is actually going after both of them with everything they got, so they're fighting this. Casa Verde was actually caught off guard by the suit, saying they were disappointed by Planet 13 for suing them, but they have to do whatever it takes to get their money back. This entire debacle, really, it just throws a wrench in Planet 13's future. Planet 13 just announced Q4 and full year of 2023 financial results. Revenues were $98.5 million. As of compared to $104.6 million, a decrease of 5.8%. The decline in revenue was driven by lower sales at the superstore and a decline in wholesale revenue in Nevada. Net loss of $73.6 million as compared to a net loss of $59.6 million. The increase in net loss was driven by the one-time $46.8 million impairment charge. Cash of $17.3 million as compared to $38.8 million. I believe this one-time impairment charge is the reflection of that $16 million that was scammed out from their investment advisor, AlCaptin Advisor. Now their business side is still unprofitable, especially in their California Orange County superstore. So this puts the company in a very difficult situation. The only selling point for the Planet 13 stock was the balance sheet. Now the balance sheet is ruined. They had to dilute shareholders. No wonder there are plenty of insiders selling and no insiders buying, unlike my True Leaf stock. Kim Rivers was buying her stock more frequently. So you're not going to touch Planet 13 stock? No, he won't touch Planet 13 stock anymore. Nope. Too much headache, Ted? Oh, it's too much headache.